singing when I was very young, probably by myself in my room to Barbra Streisand. After my bachelor's, I went to go do my master's, and after that I became a professional musician and just going where the work was.
I grew up in almost like a stuffed animal factory, so I always grew up with fabrics. So that's like kind of my activity when I was younger, to play with the leftover fabric.
I first became interested in creating works of art at a really young age, but after taking an art history class, I became so interested in sort of the context and the cultural influences in making works that I switched to art history as my undergrad degree. And then that led me to want to learn more.
I sort of grew up in a really small town in Mexico, and we grew up with the indigenous population, and they believe in the connection between us and the earth. And every time that I go back, it always sparks a feeling of curiosity, and that's what my design is about.
My parents noticed that I had rhythm and then decided to put me into dance class. My parents are both teachers, so I grew up around activism, around politics, but I didn't know where my place was in that.
Why singing? That's a good question. There's part of me that can't be separated from my voice. It is your soul touching another's.
My family's always pushing me to creative side. Every weekend I have to make some kind of artwork. So that's how it started. It feels really natural, something that like you brush your teeth every morning.
There comes that point where you have to decide, what am I going to focus on for the rest of my life? And I liked art and studying art and how it's made more than anything else. And that really helped guide my decision.
I think I was just looking more for like an outlet to really express myself creatively, because like I would always try to find places that would help me thrive. And I kind of saw design as an approach to create spaces for people.
My mom's an artist, a designer. In high school, I made more artwork that kind of show my family that I have the ability and the talent to pursue in this industry.
My junior year of high school, I was accepted into the Cesar Chavez Leadership Institute through ASU. And there, through a lot of conversations and a lot of like time with myself, that I knew that dance and justice studies were my two passions, and ASU offered me the opportunity to study both of them.
I was just spellbound by the ability of the voice, and I needed to know how to do it. Once I made that decision or knew that I could do it, I said, of course I'm doing that. And in looking at different schools and different teachers and faculty, it seemed to me that ASU and the Herber Institute and this particular school of music was very open to expanding oneself.
When deciding where to pursue my PhD, I wanted to come to the Herber Institute because I felt that they had a huge focus on interdisciplinary work, and as well as new technology and emerging fabrication techniques. One of my focuses is how 3D printing can be integrated into different artistic practices.
Back in high school, I used to volunteer for Phoenix Art Museum, and I always in love with the fashion exhibition that created by Donito Soul, who is now the director of fashion at ASU. So that's how I decided to pursue my education at Herber Institute.
It was really a place where like I researched, and I really believed in, their ability to have students sort of be innovative, and that was something that really caught my attention from the beginning.
I started going to an event which used to be called Civil Disobedience, but now it's called Urban Soul. I met Melissa Britt, and Melissa Britt became a mentor to me. And when I was thinking about where to go for college, one of the main factors was that I already had mentorship. I already had a community in the Herber Institute for Design and the Arts, with the people and with being able to go to Paris with the Urban Arts Club was one of the biggest highlights of my time. And the skills that I really learned in that process have just led me through the rest of my time at ASU and will lead me moving forward.
I really think the highlight of my time here pursuing my PhD has been being able to explore all sorts of new fabrication techniques and discovering sort of the future of where artistic practices can go.
My senior year has always like the most highlighted of my time here at ASU. I met Virgil Ortiz, who also a guest speaker that visited here at ASU. He invited me to help with an exhibition at the Met in New York.
Learning from these amazing professors that we have at the design school. I think the biggest thing that I've taken away from these 4 years is designing for communities in design is really sort of being that sort of advocate for minorities and how we use design as a tool to create, impactful spaces for people who maybe their voices aren't heard.
I think for a long time, I was unsure about what I was able to do, but coming here and being able to break through all of that. And I think first and foremost, I would like to thank so many people, Stephanie Weiss, Brian Damaris, and Dale Dreyfus, Linda Bennett, and I'd like to thank my friend family here and my own family.
I would like to thank Todd Ingalls and Stacy Kuznetsov, Mary Bates Neubauer, and Dr. Hai Yeon Nam. Those are the members of my committee. I also just want to thank all the faculty and staff, and of course my family. I forgot to mention them, for putting up with me through this entire degree process.
There's a lot of people that I want to thank. Obviously, first would be my grandmother, because she's sort of been the driving force behind me. The other people I want to thank would really be like my professors. It's been sort of a really big honor for me to get to learn from them.
Definitely my family. I can't thank them enough for believing in me and supporting me throughout this journey. All my professors at ASU and all my friends.
I would like to thank my family, my professors, but particular shout outs to Melissa Britt, Mary Fitzgerald, Liz Lerman. I want to thank my fellow seniors, and just a final shout out to Herberger Institute for Design and the Arts and ASU for shaping me into who I am.